Kia ora team, Noel Willoff here. Thanks so much for tuning into today's episode, but there's one important thing I want to say before you watch this video. I've noticed that over 91% of you who watch our content on YouTube do not subscribe to the podcast. My promise to you is if you subscribe to the podcast, I'll continue to get more of the guests on that you love and make sure that this conversation and this podcast grows to new levels. So please hit that subscribe button. Secondly, a massive shout out to our official sponsor of the podcast, Moana Road. If you want to save some cash and get some of their awesome gears, head to their website and plug in BTS20 and you'll get 20% off all of their products. Save some cash, support the podcast. Hope you enjoy this conversation. Xara, welcome to the potty.
Hello, how are you?
Very good.
Good.
How are you? You've just won the T20 Super Smash.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I mean, to bring it home in the last over is always exciting. But yeah, I didn't contribute anything with the bat, but nice to contribute with bowling, so that was cool. But the team's just stoked. We're all happy, yeah.
That's amazing. Because that was yesterday down in Christchurch.
Yes.
It was against Auckland.
Yep, it was, yeah.
Would you say they're like your biggest rivals?
Yeah, I think the reality is that we're the team everyone just hates and wants to beat. That's just a fact. I think Auckland's great. We were saying, we think they're the best team on paper. So it's quite cool to be able to beat a side of that class. That's and credit to them to put 143 on the board in a final. It really challenged us. But yeah, they're a great side.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys have an absolutely stacked team. You've got Amelia Kerr, Jess Kerr. Both had them on the podcast as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Absolute legends. Obviously yourself, how do you reflect on, I guess, when you were 17 debuting for the Blaze and entering that environment and seeing your now teammates who at the time could have been your inspirations? Do you feel like a bit of a duty for some of the younger players coming in?
Yeah, when I was 17, I mean, I was pretty out of it. I'm not going to lie. I was just stoked to be in black and yellow and be able to represent Wellington. I never really saw Amelia as this, big star then because I'd play under 15s and under 21s with her. And I played a lot of cricket with her and her being age group captain, she was, awesome in that sense. And I also played with JK in the under-21s, Jess Kerr as well. So, yeah, I think, I was put into the Blaze Academy and then brought into the Blaze at 16, 17. And, to be kind of where I am now, which is, that more of a senior role is kind of crazy. And, it's exciting to see the young group coming in because – when I was 17, the talent we have now, it was nothing compared to when I was younger. What they have is so special and incredible. And in the final, they all just contributed and came together. And that's really exciting for me as someone that's played for a long time. So. Yeah.
And what do the celebrations look like after the game, winning the final yesterday?
Yeah, we were stoked. We were, I had to do some drug testing straight after. Had anti-doping to do. But I got that done within about 15 minutes and joined the team in the changing rooms and everyone was just dancing, Georgia going crazy.
Nice.
Everyone was just happy. We had the speaker on going. Johnny, our coach, and Mo were just having, a blast. Everyone's just relieved to have won.
That's massive. And is that your season done now for the year?
No, we've got 4 more HBJ games,
Yep.
50 over cricket. It's actually coming up into this weekend. So we're all preparing for that. And then, and then we're done. Yeah.
Straight into it.
Yeah.
Sure. And you're a bit of a weapon, eh? Because I was looking back through some of the previous podcasts and interviews that you've done and learning that you've been studying at Victoria University, working part-time, doing all of the content stuff that you do, as well as a professional athlete for the Blaze. What does your day-to-day sort of look like? That's a lot of different places to juggle.
Yeah, it's time management is key for me for sure. I like to be busy, so that's cool. But my day in a life for me is crazy. I'm having to wake up 6 a.m. most mornings just because I find there's just not enough time in the day to do what I need to do. And I like to finish my day and feel accomplished. So it's 6 a.m. all the way to about 9 p.m. That's my working day. And the other thing is I have to be able to recover as well. So I have to sleep at 10 p.m. Like that's just a non-negotiable. I have to get that done or I won't be able to function the next day.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Do you have those little reminders that pop up on your phone?
Absolutely.
Like, now's bedtime. You're like, shit.
Yeah, I need to sort this out ASAP, yeah, absolutely. It's constant reminders, daily reminders. But I'm very fortunate. I've got like a team behind me. I've someone that manages my my schedule and is very much onto kind of what I do and how I do things. So it's gone to that point in my life where I needed that. Yeah.
Have you always been like very strongly routine driven?
Yes, yeah. I mean, so my cultural background, like my dad is Indian and was very much, because I'm the firstborn, like there was a structure and expectation standards in place for me. And as the firstborn, I always felt like I had this responsibility to fulfill dad's dreams and desires, which I don't actually think was necessarily a bad thing. I think it really helped me and it's kind of shaped who I am today. So that's cool. But yeah,
What sort of, was there any pressure put on from your old man to like be a certain thing or?
From a young age, he was very strict. I did something called Kumon, which was an extra curriculum that I had to do on top of school.
Yep.
And I was doing first year university when I was in year 7, right? So like that's, like
year
mathematics.
7?
Yeah, like it
Holy
was.
shit.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I don't come across as the smart type, but I had to do it.
Yep.
And that was kind of an expectation Dad had, like academics was number 1 and then sport was number 2, which was interesting.
Yep.
But Dad, naturally we talk about routine. It naturally built this desire to have a routine. Time management was something that came naturally to me because of how I was brought up. So, to be where I am now, it would be really, really difficult to maintain my day-to-day life. So, yeah.
And so your dad sort of brings that strong, like analytical almost perspective. And it sounds like your mum was also quite a good sportswoman back in her day.
Yeah. Mum's out of mum and dad, mum's probably the most tough when it comes to sport. Yeah. If I fell over and made a scene, she'd be like, grow up. You're such a twat. Grow up and sort it out. Like what are you doing? You're an athlete, man. You perform at the highest level. You don't moan and groan. You get it done. So I get all my fight and competitiveness from her.
From your mum.
Yeah.
It's it sounds like both your parents have played like a really integral role into how you have become who you are today. Also, what was really surprising to me is like early on, they almost did like a bit of an intervention with you when you were like 13.
Yeah.
And the conversation was like, okay, if not netball, because apparently a coach was being a dick and said you're too small. If not netball, like what are you going to achieve in terms of being a professional athlete?
Yes.
Like that's not an usual conversation to have to a 13-year-old.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in year 8 I went to St. Benedict's school and I blitzed all the sports awards, right? So I bet this guy that was supposed to get sports all-rounder and I managed to get it. And so
in your face.
Dad, like boom, and Dad, I remember Dad afterwards was like to Mum, I remember them talking in the front seat and I was, with all my trophies feeling great. They were like, well, obviously our daughter's gifted. It's got something. We need to, Dad's like, I don't think academics is it for her. Like, I think it's something bigger and better. Like, I need to sort this out. My dad's a heavy businessman. So, there was always a goal and something in place for me as a kid. And Mum's like, yeah, well, we've known this for so many years. So let's have this conversation with her. And yeah, that night we had a good chat. So yeah.
How'd the conversation go? Was it like a family meeting?
Yeah, like because I've got 3 younger siblings, right, and they're all out of it, so they weren't there. But Mum and Dad just said to me, where do you want to go and who do you want to be? What does that look like? And I was like, I want to be a professional sportswoman. I don't know in what sport though. I don't know where to go. And Mum said, well, it can't be cricket because you're not good at cricket.
So you were playing cricket as well?
I was playing cricket. Indoor cricket.
Yep.
Robbie Kerr picked me up and was like, yeah, you're good. We're going to put you in the under-13s outdoor team. And that was cool. But yeah, that's the extent. Like I played with my brother's team in and out. It wasn't it wasn't my number one sport. It was either going to be football or netball. Yeah.
I'm just thinking as well, because if you're doing it like first year, do you say first year NCA at year 7?
Yeah, I was doing first year uni.
First year uni?
Yeah, like it was like I was doing simultaneous equations, like the back of my head, like it was crazy, like the work that I was doing. I mean, I can't really, it's gone to the point where, we used to have these, I think it was like a mathematics like exam test, and I used to try to be the first one in the class to finish the test and just be like, bam, I'm done, because Kumon made me memorize these equations in my brain. But I couldn't put it into a word, which was weird. So if someone gave me a mathematical word like a question, I wouldn't be able to answer it. But if you gave me 2x plus 3y equals, I would be able to solve that. So it's just little things like that. It's crazy. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Did you like realize like younger in your life that you were pretty good with like numbers and that too? And was there any part of that around your sport training?
Yeah, the reality is that I wasn't very intelligent. Like that's the reality. I think Kumon was very important for me as a person. And it's just I've worked really, really hard from when I was 5 doing it all the way to when I stopped at 14 because I went to private school at 15, 16. So that I wasn't very good when I was 5, 6, 7, 8. And, a lot of conversations with Dad. Dad was very angry at me on the table. Like, how do you not understand this? I'm like, bro, like, chill out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to work very hard. And so, mirroring that into my cricket, I wasn't the greatest cricketer when I was young. I could catch and I could throw, and I was a great fielder, and that was pretty much it. I had to work really hard to get where I am. Yeah.
Far out. Yeah. Keen to get into that part of the story as well. I mean, it's almost like your life and structure in many ways has almost stayed the same from being a kid, doing all of this like academic pressure, plus all these sporting endeavors. And now, as a 24-year-old, it's almost, similar in a way where you're juggling all these different plates and responsibilities and being good at all of them. Is it hard for you to have you finished your studies, or are you still studying?
Still studying.
Still in the trenches.
Still, yeah.
Is it hard for you to commit that time when all you want to do is play cricket?
Yes, yeah. I think I've come to a realization that time and energy is really important when it comes to the sport. And it does mean that there's going to be some sacrifices that's had to be made. And that's going to probably that I don't study for the next kind of 2 to 3 years. Or I do one paper in the background, but ultimately 100% of my time and energy must go into the sport to get to where I need to get to. Because at the moment, my best is nowhere near where it needs to be at the moment. So, and that's okay. Like that's me being really harsh, but there's somewhere I need to get to, So,
And what do you think? Because obviously the Silver Ferns is like, not Silver Ferns, the White Ferns.
Yeah.
Is where your sort of pathway is heading. What do you think's maybe like holding you back from achieving that dream right now?
I think that I'm controlling all the controllables at the moment. One being mentally, like how I go about my game. Then 2 being physically, like being as strong as possible. And then I guess tactically is something I'm working on at the moment. And I think all 3 of those things are coming together really slowly. And then you've got performance that will complement that. And performance is just an outcome. There's only so much you can take out of that. For example, I got 1 run in the final. That 1 innings does not define me as a player. And usually I would have a cry and smash my helmet and, go crazy. But, those mental skills came into place. And I just reminded myself, I got to where I am now because of all the results prior to that. And that's performance is only so much, right? And I need to just trust my practice. I need to just keep trusting the process that I'm on, and hopefully there'll be some reward that comes from it.
And are you like a big goal setter? Do you have like time frames that you got in your mind where you want to achieve a certain goal?
Yeah, like kind of. I mean, 3 years ago, I'd set a goal that I wanted to be in the New Zealand A team, and that was the North v Souths last year. And I missed out on that selection, and that was shocking. That was devastating because I thought I had done enough at least to have made the side, and that's fine. That's only made me more hungry, if I'm being honest. Like I said to someone, I'm like, oh, you can't not select me now. I'm going to go crazy with training. I'm going to be fighting harder than ever now. You can't do this to me. Yeah, I just won't stop.
Yeah, so pretty relentless.
Yeah.
There's an interesting concept I've heard recently, and it's like you've got two sorts of motivation. There's like push motivation, which is pushing, like you're trying to push yourself away from like a negative experience or your current situation. So usually your drivers is like, I don't want to be where I am right now. But then there's like pull motivation, and that's where you're like moving towards something which feels like it's bigger than yourself. Like it's almost more of like a positive motivational driver. So I mean, between like push motivation or pull motivation, what do you think, like where do you sit in those two camps?
That's really difficult to answer. In terms of the pull side, I like what you were saying about something almost being bigger than me. And right now, where I'm at right now, I just feel like it's a little bit bigger than me. Like, to even make the blaze, that's just crazy. To be opening the bowling is even weirder. To be put in a situation where you're under pressure and then be able to bowl stump to stump still is cool. That's just such a privilege to be able to do that and to perform under pressure. Those, I think pull motivation is probably where I would kind of go to for sure. Because when I see myself do that, and the aftermath, the after conversation is always, that's not a fluke. The reason I did that was because of the work I've put in, obviously. But that's why I work hard. That's why I go through this really lengthy process.
Yeah. Do you train yourself around the mental side of things as well? Like through the Blaze, are there like sports psychologists?
Yes.
Yeah,
we have a sports psych at the Blaze, and she's awesome. And but I've got a manager coach that's kind of like everything for me in terms of the mental, tactical, physical practice, everything. In terms of mental skills, we've really talked about process. Everyone says to me, trust the process, but I've never really understood what that meant. And that was broken down into, a system for me. So awareness, understanding and responsibility, then we'll build confidence, trust, and then naturally self-belief in your skills, right? And awareness is like your weaknesses and your strengths, and then understanding is the knowledge, and who facilitates that knowledge is your coach, right? And responsibility is the accountability that you take, and it's accuracy of that as well. Accuracy is so important. It's so easy to train on bad habits and not train at a 10 out of 10. My coach says, Xara, if you train a 6 out of 10 again, you will be playing a 3 out of 10, and that's not good enough. You train a 10 out of 10 and you play an 8, that's okay. That will score you centuries. So that's the kind of mental kind of side that I've kind of endured, and that's been huge in terms of my development as a player. So
that's fascinating, eh? Do you have like an inner voice in matches when time gets tough?
Yeah, I fight is the one word. Just fight. If I feel myself nervous, I will just get into it's like an emotion, like a radiating emotion. Like this is a privilege to be here. There's a reason I'm here. This is I'm deserving of the pressure. I know exactly what I need to in this moment. Trust your skills, trust your instincts, and allow just take over the game, and don't allow the game to dictate how you're going to play. You take over it. It's so easy for cricket to beat you.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It's such a shocking sport.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like that, being deserving of the pressure.
Yeah.
It's cool, eh? It's like, pressure's a privilege.
Absolutely.
I like hearing that.
Yeah, I love it. I think Tiger Woods uses that a lot. I had to, my coach manager told me read books on Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, everyone.
All of the goats, eh?
Around mentality and hard work, they are great standpoints for that. I think they're really important for me. So
yeah, 100%. So you were picked for the Blaze. Was that at 16 or 17?
So I was put into the team at 16, debuted at 17, contract at 17.
That's insane. For like what, year 11?
Year
12?
11, yeah. Year 11, yeah.
What's that like, receiving a phone call?
I got a phone call at 16. I was at school during lunch, and they were
classic.
classic. They're like, Xara, would love you to be 12th man for the weekend. We're gonna play Central Districts for the Wellington Blaze. And I was like, cool, like I'll do that. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna introduce you as our specialist fielder. It's like, sweet. I was pretty stoked because I knew fielding was my thing for that time that I'd been playing cricket. But I started at 13 and got put into the Blaze at 16, which is just...
It's insane.
It's just, it's crazy. It's, cool opportunity.
Yeah, and because, I mean, you were playing so much netball, you're playing football, dancing was really big for you.
Yes.
Did things just click a bit more when it came to playing cricket?
I didn't realise where I wanted to go until first year university when I got out of school. Probably when I was 18, because I did the International Baccalaureate as well, the IB diploma at Queen Margaret College, and that consumed majority of my time, and cricket just happened to fit into that quite nicely. Majority of my other sports were quite difficult to maintain, and I had to stop football in that last year of school because I was actually failing the IB because I was playing 5 sports at the top level for them. And they were like, how are you doing that while doing an IB diploma, which is considered one of the most toughest qualifications, in high school. So shit. I don't know how I did it to this day, but yeah.
That's crazy. Where was like your, I don't know, like your energy levels or your thought process at the time? Like what was your general state of well-being when you've got all this shit going on?
Shocking, absolutely shocking. Yeah, the worst time was when we had to do mocks in August for the IB. So the IB is done over 2 years, so you can only sit your exam in the second year. So you're doing 2 years worth of content into one exam.
What kind of work is it?
It's the IB diploma is you've got 8 subjects, more like 6 subjects, 3 high-level subjects and 3 standard levels. Yeah. And then you've got your TOC, which is theory of knowledge, which is like psychological, like it's well-being, way of living, like it's very spiritual. And then there's and it's similar to the Duke of Edinburgh. I forgot what it was called, but it's similar where you have to have a creativity, sports, and service. And we had to do that as part of the IB diploma. I had to stop Duke of Edinburgh because it was in the IB.
Wow.
Yeah, my well-being was shocking. My balance was bad. So I was at 17, waking up 5 in the morning to go do the Blaze gym for 5:30 or 6 a.m. Get to school for 7:30 to study for an hour. Start school 8:30 to 10:30, and usually I have meetings at morning tea, straight into it. And then I'd go straight to Blaze training after that from 5:30 to 7:30. And when I got told during mocks that I was failing and my parents had to come into the school with the principal told me one thing that really stuck with me. She said, Xara, you've got something really special. You've got a story that you could tell, to be able to be a semi-professional athlete, to do the IB diploma, to be even in the first 11, netball, football, etc. You have something that you can tell and you can be an inspiring and just like someone that people can rely on. Like that's something that could really change people's lives. And I think we're not going to tell you to not do the IB because we think you're more than capable of doing it, but you do have to stop one thing, and that was football, which was shocking. But I did it. And naturally, I was doing what I was 5 to 9 p.m., studying, working. And then we got to exams, and I got a phone call saying, Xara would like you to play in Auckland Saturday and Sunday 50 over cricket. And I had 8 exams that week. And I'm going, what's going on here? Like, this is crazy. I managed to get it, got a phone call that I've more than passed. And it was just a very rewarding time. Yeah, so it was worth it.
Where do you can get this work rate from? Is it from your parents? Like it's a natural drive of like ambition that you have? Definitely
from my parents, hands down.
Yeah.
I mean, how I've been brought up. I mean, my granddad on my dad's side was quite spiritual and said that I was meant for something great. And I'm still trying to figure that out till this day.
Would he say that to you?
He said that to my dad actually the day he passed, which was really interesting. I was 6, and that's the last thing Dad said. Dad said, he never said he loved me, but the one thing he did tell me was that you're meant for greatness and that there's something about you that's going to change people's lives. And so everything I do is for me, but what I'm trying to do is ultimately build something and build a story that's going to help people and change people's lives, not just through cricket, but through everything, especially in high school, especially for women, but also for men. Like, I'm an equalist in that sense. So, yeah.
That's great. And I mean, I think there's a lot to be said around, like, you are what you see, and like if you don't see your role models, like if you're like a young woman playing cricket, you don't have the awareness of that profession. It's very hard to like step into that space. I know something that you're really big on is like sort of growing like your social media profile, and probably encouraging more men and women into cricket. But yeah, like what does that sort of mean for you, I guess, in terms of having a profile, trying to get some more eyeballs on the game?
I think that social media can be such a scary place, but it can also be a really empowering space. And I really want to be a part of that culture that's going to really help inspire and lift people up. I just want to make people smile. And, you know, cricket for a lot of people can come across as quite a boring sport. You know, 6 hours a day.
Unless it's T20.
Yeah, T20s are cool. And even T10s are now coming on the scene now. And that's more exciting for people. But yeah, I think it's just showcasing how much fun we can have through this really cool sport. And there's much more to cricket. It just grows amazing people. And but yeah, social media is just a byproduct of me being able to have some success from the Blaze. You know, we've won, I think someone said to me this was our 10th Super Smash title that we'd won. And
huge.
Yeah, there's just a lot of success that comes from black and yellow. And yeah, I think those followers are kind of come from that, I think. And I just hopped on the bandwagon a little bit, and just I want to showcase people, you know, my hardship, but also a mixture of fun-loving content that's of a semi-professional athlete.
Yeah, it's awesome, eh?
I love it.
How many followers you got on Instagram? It's like close to 150.
Nearly 150, 148. Yeah, 148,000. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Are your DMs just flooded with
Absolutely.
like Indian like cricket lovers?
Yeah. A lot of marriage proposals.
Really?
Yeah, heaps. Yeah, it's crazy.
Taking any up?
Nah.
What's the best DM that you've got?
The best DM? Oh man, that's a great question.
Best could also mean worst.
Yeah,
it
could be.
Outrageous DM.
There's been, you know, I got sent this really massive message from an Indian bloke, just, you know, explaining how beautiful I am and that he'll do whatever it takes to take my hand in marriage, and he'll pay me X amount. And I was like, all right, well, we're gonna block you. But yeah, it was a massive message. There was so much that went into that.
Crazy.
Yeah, a lot of emotion. His heart poured, you know.
And did you block him? Do you block most of those kind of borderline creepy ones?
Yeah, it's just the borderline creepy ones when they start asking for money or something. I'm just like, this is too much for me, so I just leave. Yeah.
I mean, if they're saying they'll pay you to marry, you should ask what the price is.
Yeah.
How much?
How much is that?
Yeah.
I might take you up. Nah.
Yeah, I'll consider it. Wow, crazy. And what about like the dark side of social media? I think always with having a profile that opens you up to shithousery, like people just being dicks or adding their 2 cents. Have you learned how to navigate, I don't know, haters or bad comments or bad messages that come in?
Yeah, I quite love the hate actually. Like I want people to hate on my content because then it just fuels me a bit more, to be honest. It doesn't really rehabilitate me in any way. It's not something that's ever affected me in the history I've played cricket and been a part of social media. It's never been an issue. They're very small-minded people. They're uneducated, so why would I be upset?
It's a good mindset to have, eh? I feel like many people, including myself, if I get like one negative comment, I'm like, oh man.
You're like what's going on?
Dagger in my heart sort of thing.
Yeah, I think when I first started, there used to be some pretty weird comments just around my game, and where I am at now is not enough and it's not good enough. And those comments sucked, but it's I don't take them negatively. I take them as something that's going to fuel me and drive me, really. You know, I play cricket for me, but I also play it for the people as well, right? Like I want to entertain you lot. So that criticism and that feedback I'll take on, but only if it's valid and it's an educated one. If not, then see you later.
You got thick skin, eh? Much thicker skin than I do. I remember like many years ago, there was like an article that came out because I was very young when I had my daughter. And that same year I became head boy at my school in Altair. And there was this like big media story, and it was like this whole national conversation around should this guy called Noah be head boy or not because he's a teen parent.
Oh.
And I remember like, and they always say never read the comments, but I'd like read the NZ Herald comments. You got all these Karens in there being like, he's ruined his life, he's ruined his daughter's life. But then, you know, those are the ones I'd focus on, even though there was like hundreds of very lovely positive
messages,
stuff.
Absolutely.
But I wish I probably should have had your mentality around it.
I think don't be too harsh, because I think, you know, when you're young, there's so much importance in having a mentor and someone to guide you. Like if you don't have the knowledge necessary and required to be able to cope in those situations, you never will. That's just a fact. And there's so much importance in opening up, and especially for men and boys. Like I'm really passionate about that mental health side for them. I've got two younger brothers, and one of them's doing psychology at the moment, and the other's very emotional, because I always encourage for them to have conversations. Because there's a lot of the time we're consumed in our own thoughts, and we think in a certain way that can take us down a really dark path. But once you open up and you find that there's another way of thinking, or you know, a different I guess growth path, it's a different box of frogs, right?
100%. So true.
Yeah.
So true. Tell us a little bit more around, so you've been with the Blaze since you were 16, 17. What's it like coming into that environment? You've obviously been through a bit of a journey with the club. Talk to me about like, I guess the highs and lows of even like the training, being there day to day, and just like the culture and the environment.
Like right now, or from when I was young, or
let's do just over time.
Over time,
just a bit of a
how
snapshot.
It's changed.
Yeah, how it's changed.
Yeah, like I guess we used to train at Karori Park, which was just a shocking park to play on.
What's bad about it?
Oh, it's just shocking. In terms of, I mean, we were semi-professional athletes training on a ground meant for the public, really. Like, you know, we didn't get the facilities like the Basin Reserve, for example, when I first started. And so when we trained there, I guess it was fine. It was just like a net session, and we did a little bit of fielding here and there, and then the year after we moved at the Basin Reserve, and there was much more a better structure, and you know, different coaches came on, so things got a little bit more professional. And I think, and I was surrounded by people at the time like Rachel Priest, Liz Perry, Green at right now, and you know, Susan McDonald, Alex Evans. These I was 17, and these girls had been playing for maybe, I don't know, probably 5+ years, and that was a very scary environment, because I didn't feel like I could express myself the way I could, because well, I was young and immature, right? Like it was, you had to shut up, which I definitely did not. But it's
Did you not?
No, I was naughty. Yeah, I just wouldn't shush. I wouldn't shush. I was very naughty. But I think they humbled me, which is good. It's necessary. It's required in the professional environment. Unfortunately, there's a balance, you know.
Go into that a bit more. Was it like a particular moment where like you're just maybe, you know, young, just yapping away?
There was. I won't say specifically, but I did get told off by one of the seniors about something that I mentioned about, you know, a boy that was cute, you know, like,
right.
And they were like, you don't talk about that here. And I was like, oh. Just trying to make friends, you know. I was trying to be funny, I was trying to be relatable, and it was not. It was just shush, Xara. Just shut up.
Do you feel like now with the culture at the Blaze, obviously there's like your professional self and your personal self, but can you be yourself around like the girls, around the training staff? Absolutely. Can you have fun, or is it just fully head down?
Yeah,
what's the balance?
There's been a massive transition for me personally around how I want to be and how I want to act, I think, because when you're in the professional world, it's actually a really harsh world, you know, mentally being put under pressure. If you don't cope well in those situations, naturally it will debilitate you. It will make you small, and you crumble. I mean, you hear people about having the yips and you know, mentally losing it. They have to stop and take breaks. Like that that exists. And yeah, I've lost track of what I was talking about. I've just lost track.
No. That's perfect.
What you asked me something?
Yeah, just like if you can be yourself, showing up
Oh yeah.
in the like training environment. And
Yeah,
everything.
it's yeah, and so there's a transitional phase, and so right now the culture is just phenomenal. Like it's the Blazers awesome. I mean, what you see on TV, the laughs and the smiles are all real. But I'll be really honest, like there has been a lot of struggle in the culture prior to that because there was a transition from not being professional to being professional, right?
Yeah.
And you had seniors and youngies, and that was really difficult in terms of you can't really relate to a 30-year-old when you're 16. Like that's just a fact.
Yeah.
And now we navigate that really, really well. And the group we have now is really cool. But yeah, I can. But the reality is I'm wanting to be perceived as someone that works hard, really serious about how they go about their game. But there needs to be a balance. And that's why we flip. And that's why we do social media, right? And that's the balance that I'm currently on at the moment. That's the journey I'm on.
Yeah. If not cricket, what do you think you would have been doing?
In terms of sport?
Just in general.
I would like to be an entrepreneur, someone that owns and builds businesses that are going to ultimately change lives. So I wanted to do biotechnology.
Cool.
And I was going to build this is like my vision I had when I was young, was going to build an IVF clinic to provide for infertile women because I just hate the idea that couples couldn't have children. That just makes me so angry. And same-sex marriages as well. It really upsets me. So I wanted to provide that opportunity for people. And so I was going to do biotechnology, and I was going to do a marketing degree with a minor in entrepreneurship and innovation. That was going to be my journey. That's my vision. And I think I will do that. And I think cricket will help me get there. Yeah.
So that's what a crazy, like, awesome idea as like a young person.
Yeah.
Most people are like, I want to start like a t-shirt company. Or,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here I am, IVF clinic. Yeah. It's just, I'm a bit weird like that for sure.
Why are you so passionate about that subject?
There's actually, my auntie and my uncle were trying to have a baby for years, and it didn't work because she's got, I think it's epilepsy, and it's just her medication made it really difficult. And she doesn't really know about this, so she'll hear this on the pod. But I hated that. I just hated that they weren't provided the opportunity because they are such cool people, like really awesome. And I went, right, I'm not letting that happen on my watch. And yeah, I think kind of that's where the passion kind of stemmed from. But also listening to stories and reading books about it. When I did biology at school, I did high-level biology in International Baccalaureate. And
not surprised.
Yes. And we learned about IVF, and my passion just grew more and more around that. So
yeah. My mate actually just had an IVF baby, which is quite cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, he was showing me the room he needed to go into to do his part of the deal. It was pretty funny.
So weird, eh? I know. Yeah, that part's crazy to me. The poor guys were like, oh God.
It was so funny. He had some funny horror stories about it.
Oh no.
Yeah. But he's got a beautiful baby now.
So that's great.
Days.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is pretty magical.
Yeah.
What do you think most people from the public don't understand about female cricketers in New Zealand, or like just the lifestyle that you live and maybe what you have to sacrifice?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are consumed to what they see on television, and the reality is the quality of women's cricket is growing, and there are a few mistakes here and there, drop catches, a standard of fielding, batting, putting scores on the board, etc. But there's a lot of constraints with the game at the moment. We're only can train in a certain amount of time. We don't train full time like the men, and we're only given 20 games in a year to play cricket. So if you don't go to the UK or overseas in the off season, you are literally not playing cricket at all. And playing is so important, especially when you're self-developing as a young player. Because when you play in a game, it's very different to how you train. Like that's just a fact. Yeah. We all bat better in the nets, And so I guess it's just there's the quality of cricket is not as great as the men's yet. It will grow, and it is growing. Like this year, this Super Smash, the batters have just gone so much better. Like tactically and physically, it's just been so cool to watch.
Yeah.
As a bowler, it sucked.
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie. You know, I got my 4 for 1, right?
Yeah.
And that's like economically crazy. And now I'm getting like 2 for 40, and I'm going, why are you smashing me around the park, bro?
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
it's because they've gotten better
The
because
level's lifting.
yeah, absolutely, and they're training harder, and that's really exciting to see. And yeah, but we'll see what the game gives us in a few years, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's exciting.
it is.
And like, what's the difference between like the Firebirds, like the male club side, in comparison to the Blaze, in terms of, I guess, the contracts that the men are maybe put on in comparison to you guys?
Yeah.
Are most of the men like full time with
Yeah.
cricket?
Yeah, I'm really bad because I don't really know too much about the men's space. But from what I know, they've got a slightly longer contracting period, more games because they've got that like the 3, 4, 5 days, whatever it is, as well as the T20s and 50 over cricket. So they've got a lot more to fit in their schedule, so therefore that's why their contract period's longer. And yeah, they get to train during the day where we can only train early mornings and late nights. So which sucks, but it's also not really anyone's fault. Yeah.
So do you have to almost fit it around their training schedules?
Kind of. I mean, we're required to train from, I think it's like 5:30 till 9 a.m. and then 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. Those are our hours, and then the men have got the in between because they can, right? Because it's full time. They don't need to work where we need to go work. Yeah. So the NZCPA has done a great job with the wellbeing side of things for it, so we can ultimately find a balance. Yeah. It's still really difficult, but we're big and strong, right? We can do it, and we've managed nicely.
That's tougher, I reckon. Like for you guys having to also like have part-time jobs. Yes. So yeah, all the kudos and respects. Yeah.
The
men
girls
have got it
are great.
easy, man. You guys are in the trenches.
No, the men are great. They a cool position to be in. You know, I look at the men's game as a blueprint for where we're going to get to, and that for me is really exciting. We get to watch them perform, and they get to train throughout the day, and I go, oh my gosh, girls, I can't wait till we get to that point. You know, if anything, it just makes me excited, and it's cool to see them in their space, in their element, because I'm sure when they were young, that's exactly where they wanted to be. And
100%.
Hopefully we'll get there soon.
Yeah. And you also head away to the UK in your off season to play club level?
Yes, I have. Yeah. The last 3 years I've done that. Yeah.
How long are you in the UK for when you do that?
4 to 6 months. Yeah.
Wow. So like half of the time you're actually stationed overseas.
Yeah, I haven't stopped. I've had, I think it's like 5 consecutive seasons that I've played now. I've not had a break. Yeah.
Far out. Do you get to do a bit of travel when you head over there? Or are you just strictly...
I'm not there to travel.
No?
It's really bad. I'm not there to travel, not there to make friends. I'm there to play cricket and represent New Zealand. Yeah. There's somewhere I need to be, and I can't get distracted right now. So yeah, I've been very like strict with myself with that. Yeah.
Are you good at like channeling out all of those external distractions?
Pretty
like when
good
you're in
now.
London or like the UK, you know, like, I don't know, Barcelona's a stone throw away,
Yeah,
or Paris. How do you sort of overcome, I guess, the temptation around discipline?
Discipline is really important. It's something I've had to master, but it's also, I think, a natural thing. I think it does come back to my roots and how I was brought up by dad and mum. So that's really helps me. But yeah, in the UK, I wrote down that I want to become an all-rounder. So 4 years ago, I had someone tell me that if the reason I'm not good enough is because I don't play enough cricket. So you need to go play more men's cricket. So I went and signed with a club that was a men's club. So I was the only lady in the men's setup, and that was really mentally tough more than it was physically. I mean, they weren't great cricketers, right? Like it was a middle league, and I was doing okay, especially with the bowling. And yeah, that was interesting time. And then it kind of just grew into my focus point became, right, I'm going to use the UK as just my off season, my winter training, and this is what I want to get to with my batting. I want to bat from 11 to 8, and I want to bat from 8-6, 6-3, and hopefully 3-1. So that was kind of like my goal. What that looked like is I needed a coach, and I couldn't find that person for about a year and a half, having spent 2 off seasons in the UK. And my agent was like, we've got a coach that we think could really help. And his name's Dave Simpkins, and he's
shout out
to him. He's proper cool. Woke up 5:30 in the morning. We trained from 6 to 10 a.m. Every day for 6 to about 18 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
And
yeah.
You also heard you do like accountability sessions after trainings.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So after the 4-hour physical training where I'd bowled maybe 25 overs and then batted for about 2.5 hours, we would then sit down and break down that training, what that looked like. Was it accurate enough? Did we get what we needed out of it? Okay, what did it feel like when it went well? And what did it feel like when it went badly? And why? What can we control? Was the surface bad? Was there a ridge at any point? Is that realistic to the women's game? Okay, maybe he needs to throw and I need to just react to that. Or perhaps we need to do more spin. Perhaps my setup isn't right. Okay, maybe I'm out of balance. Like, those are the conversations we had. There was a point where it lasted 3 hours.
No way.
And it was just cricket chat.
And is that reviewing one session?
Reviewing one session, and then also like where I want to get to, and like, you know, the person I want to be in cricket's so important. You know, he's very philosophical in that way. You know, he says that we grow good people through cricket. And he goes, you're already just such a cool person. Now let's make you great, because right now you're nowhere near it. And I loved that. He literally said, you know, you're nowhere near where you need to be. You will never represent New Zealand, he said. He
said that?
Yeah. Yeah, when I first met him, he said, you'll never represent New Zealand because you don't work hard enough. I was like, cool. So what do you want me to do? He's like, well, you need to do 4 hours a day. I'll give you a task. You do 2 hours a day. In 2 years' time, you might represent New Zealand. You do 4 hours a day, and it'll take you 6 to 18 months, and we'll see where it takes you. I went, okay. And that 18 months is coming up soon, so let's see what happens. But he's pretty harsh in that sense.
And how do you respond to, I guess, that like brutal honesty that he's giving you?
I said about time that I got someone just tell me straight, you don't work hard enough. I mean, the amount of people that used to say, yeah, you're high potential. Yeah, you're the next big thing in New Zealand. Like, yeah, you just trust the process. I just never understood any of it, you know. Yeah. Where he was like, yeah, cool, you can play, but, you know, you're not anywhere near where you should be, and that's because of this. And I was like, great, thank you. I've been looking for this. I needed guidance from someone that knows what they're talking about. Yeah, and it's just it got me batting from 11 to 3, you know, within a year. You know, it's just crazy. Yeah,
cool. Out.
Yeah.
What an interesting character. I feel like you need those interesting mentors and coaches, to really hit the next level.
Absolutely.
Like someone that just sees the game differently.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's why I went to the UK, is because there's more coaches and there's more opportunities to play cricket, and there's more grass wickets. It's just a bigger place, you know, and very fortunate to have found it.
And what's the environment like heading into like a men's team? Is there, like, do you get along with the guys all good? Is it like a bit of a weird environment to begin with?
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It's just, you know, a girl comes on to bat and they start chatting. But
is there a bit of sledging?
Yeah, a bit of sledging here and there. Nah, it's not bad. It's not consistent. There was one guy that was chirping me out while I was batting, and I just stopped for a second. I went, aren't you the guy that DM'd me on Instagram?
No way.
And it was a joke, but all the guys were dying of laughter. He was so embarrassed. He came over afterwards and was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, bro, it's fine. I'm bantering back. Like, it's all good. But the other side of it, when I first went to the UK in the first week, I had a man in like a little, it's like a little Italian hat, I'm not too sure, with his dog. He walks up, and it was me on a table with about 6 other blokes who just finished training. One of them was the South African overseas pro as well, and he was cool. And he comes over and, you know, introduces himself. He shakes all the boys' hands. He just looks at me and doesn't even engage. I'm like, right, I'm in for a treat now. It's my first week ever, first year, 21. And he said, and who are you? And I was like, oh, Xara. And someone said, yeah, this is Xara Jetly. She's our first ever women's overseas pro. She's the first one ever in Wiltshire County. And I was like, yeah, nice to meet you. And he's like, a female cricketer, overseas professional. He's like, you got to be joking. There's no way my chairman would hire a female overseas professional. Blatantly to my face, I've never, ever encountered anything so like, yeah, like to my face. Like I was like, wow, you're an interesting man. And I said, I'm sure that I could bowl you out first ball though. That was my response because I got a little bit defensive. But he just kind of laughed at me and he kept going about like women's sport and how it's going downhill. And I kicked one of the guys to say something and none of them said a single thing. None of them. And I just went, I've got to fight my own battle here. But then the chairman came over and he was great because I just told him what happened and he just pretty much said, get out of my club. Like, and I've never seen him. I never saw him again. And I went to that club twice. The next year I went back. So that was a very interesting time. Yeah. I'm
stoked that you back yourself in those moments because I think so many people would just stay silent.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to. Because I'm not just representing myself in that moment like that. It's for women. That's so disrespectful to women and girls. Like
100%.
I was like, yeah, he must be single or something. Like something. He's obviously his wife left him or something.
Yeah,
something's happened.
He's definitely posting some hateful comments on his Facebook.
Keyboard warrior. Yeah, absolutely.
Was he just like a club member?
I believe so. Yeah, he was in his 60s at least, 70s. Like it was awesome. It's such a funny story. I told my mum straight away. I mean, I actually was a little bit in tears. I won't hide away from that. But, you know, mum was just like, what a sad, lonely little man. Yeah. And I was like, yeah.
Who knows, eh? He's
Yeah.
probably saying that and hoping everyone's like, Dale is a fuck. You're right.
It's like probably I don't know, maybe it's I don't know what he was trying to do, egg the boys on or something. None of them, they were silent. They never joined in or not. But one boy I knew was looking at me and was really worried about the situation, but he just wouldn't say anything, and that's really sad.
Sucks, eh?
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, and I think from that day onwards, I kind of isolated myself a lot from the club and kind of just went about my day on my own. I used to go to a cafe and just work 4 or 5 hours and then train for 3, and then that was kind of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think you're like are you quite obsessive when it comes to the goals that you set? Like, I feel like you're a very driven individual. Like, would you put you sound very structured, very hardworking. I think sometimes when you put so much of your identity into, like, sometimes your goals, it can be hard when you don't accomplish those goals.
Yes, for sure.
And, like, how do you, the feelings that you have on yourself, if you are this individual and you don't achieve something, that can be, like, it can become quite hurtful to your own, like, self-image.
Yes.
Like, how do you, I guess, sort of balance the Xara the cricketer and what you want to achieve versus, you know, who you are as an individual and a person? Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very fortunate where, you know, this is one thing where I feel bad for the men's space because it's full time. So cricket is literally everything. So there could be, you know, naturally a reliance on performance where with me, I have the privilege to be able to perform, train, and then I've also got to go to work and do my marketing job where I'm trying to bring in sales. And there's a little bit of satisfaction that you get from that job, you know, bringing in members. So there's that too. I'm also currently building a coaching business.
I saw you do the coaching.
Yeah. I'm building an academy at the moment within Wellington for everyone, women and girls, men and boys, and it's so exciting. Like, I'm gonna hopefully build an indoor facility, etc. So
awesome.
I think there's a lot of power in being a woman in sport right now, especially as a semi-professional in that sense, because I have different goals in different areas of my life because I have to, you know, and there's so much importance in having a balance in that sense. If I not fail, but don't get to where I want to in my cricket, I will study in biotechnology and I'll build that IVF clinic. Okay, fine. If I don't end up going down that line, then I'll build my coaching academy and I will register the name ASAP, which I've already done, to be honest. And I'll build an indoor facility and I'll sort that out. Okay, then what's the next thing? You know, I will always find new ways and to feel accomplished and satisfied with where I'm at. So
yeah, it's inspiring, man. You're
Yeah.
badass. It's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
cool. I just love chatting to people that have just so much like energy and conviction about
Yeah.
what they're doing.
I just think life is a gift. There's so much love to give, and especially to people that are deserving. And that's really cool. You know, I love living. Like living is such a cool experience, and for especially with people that are struggling with mental illness and mental health, just really passionate about being able to explore that and really showcase what life could be. And you know what the reality is, that we have to work hard to build the life we want. That's just a fact. Yeah,
100%. And I think with that comes like purpose.
Absolutely.
Like if you don't have that like pull motivation, or like you're not doing something in your day that contributes, it's easy to think negatively on yourself.
Absolutely.
We'll finish off with some quick fire questions, but I did have another question I wanted to ask you about. Is I've seen some videos when you get a wicket and then you do this crazy acrobatic flip. Where did that come from?
I did that a year and a half ago, I can't remember. And I have a lot of energy when I get wickets and get really excited. And I don't like the idea of screaming in someone's face and giving them a send-off. Instead, I kind of did it in this way. The other side of it is I want people to watch women's cricket. And I feel like the players have a responsibility to an extent, and that is something that will get people watching the game. And it does. It sparked a lot of attention, and, you know, people on the sideline were like, "Are you going to flip today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. That's absolutely fine." I also learned gymnastics when I was younger, like
there
at
you
home.
go.
Yeah. My mum told me no to gymnastics.
Yeah.
And I went, nah, okay, I'm going to go home and practice every day. So I practiced the back bend, practice the front, handstand into a bridge. Then I just kind of, with a mattress, I bought my mattress out and did it all myself. So I've self-taught the handspring, which is really cool that I can showcase it on a cricket pitch.
Hard work pays off.
Yeah,
I reckon if you finish it with a backflip, it would be even more viral.
I'm actually looking at taking tumbling classes this year.
You're kidding.
I'm being serious, yeah, so I can learn to do the backflip, because I got to spice it up, man. Like, this is important.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is so good. Okay. Well, thanks so much, Xara. It's been such an awesome conversation. Yeah, I'm just very inspired by what you're doing and your mindset, and just the journey you've been on to get to where you are. So hope if you're listening that you enjoyed this conversation. Before we go to these quick fire questions, where can people stay in touch with you and your mahi?
In terms of social media and everything
socials,
else?
anything else?
I mean, yeah, Instagram and TikTok are my main ones. It's just Xara.Jetly. TikTok's got 2 Ys.
Easy. We'll chuck a link in the description wherever you're watching or
Oh,
listening.
yeah, and YouTube too.
And you're like a
Xara
YouTuber.
Jetly 12. Yeah, I'm just trying to start YouTube, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it's difficult, that.
Yeah, it's a tough algorithm to figure out.
And editing takes a long time, long format content, as you would know.
Big time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll chuck a link in the description.
Cool.
What brings you true happiness?
Cricket.
What is the meaning of life?
What is the meaning of life?
Yeah.
What a question. It's quick fire. I can't.
I mean, you can
My
think
family.
Of it. Your family.
Yeah.
Nice. Advice you wish you knew about when you were younger?
Gosh, work hard.
What does legacy mean to you?
This is crazy, but fame.
Go say a little bit more into that.
I said to my coach, I want to be famous. And he was like, great, why? Because I want to change people's lives. I want to have a platform big enough to be able to change people's lives. And so fame allows many things. Money, people that are going to listen and watch attentively, like with intentions to want to change something about themselves. And, I have to be something or someone to be able to do that. And how am I going to become famous? It's going to be through cricket. It's not going to be social media. It will be through cricket. And that's why I train as hard as I can. So the reason cricket, fame, change people's lives, that's
That's
the structure.
Yeah, that's
That's
the theory
what's
of
going to
change.
happen. Yeah.
Love it. If you could change one thing in New Zealand, what would this be?
In sport or in general?
In general.
Oh, just make it bigger.
Make the country bigger?
Yeah, like more land would be nice. So I can have more grass wickets to play cricket.
And what do you believe is the main thing that is holding back young people in New Zealand?
In terms of sport, there's just so much going on. You know, New Zealand, everyone's playing like 8 sports in a week, and they're all very talented at all 8. And I think it's just a decision to be able to pick one or the other. That is the most difficult thing that we're fighting at the moment for young ones. And I just encourage them to play every sport to your 100%, see where it takes you, and then go from there.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Xara. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. No
Cheers.
worries.